What is going on, everybody? Welcome back to the Keep It Kula Podcast. My name is Jaclyn, here today with Cousin Owen. When do I not have Cousin Owen on nowadays? Like, Cousin Owen, we got lots to talk about, starting with the Super Bowl.
Big game today, Jaclyn. Big game.
Um, we got Super Bowl 60 tonight. I know we have not been able to talk about Super Bowl really at all. Like, I don't think I even recapped the championship games much. It's been a crazy couple of weeks with my viewers know I'm doing sports journalism in school. I had Keegan Matheson on 2 weeks ago. I have a big interview coming up this upcoming week. Not going to say who it is yet, but Owen knows, and it's exciting. So we really didn't get to talk too much about the playoffs, but like, man, what a playoffs that we had. And who would have thought, if you told me, I don't know, even 3 months ago, that was going to be Patriots versus Seahawks, I would have called you crazy.
Yeah. I mean, you know what? It was a great playoffs, Jaclyn. Started off really, really hot, and even towards the Rams Seahawks was a great game. I think a big disappointment for a lot of people, especially in our area of the world, Canada, Toronto, whatever you want to say, GTA. We're disappointed with the Bills. It sort of felt like the same old narrative, like they just get really close. And listen, we could talk about penalties, and there was the pass interference that was questionable and all this stuff, but I don't know. To me, it seems like a pattern, right? When you have this 4 or 5, 6 times where you're a couple points away, it almost feels like something has to change. So I know they changed their head coach, although I think they just upgraded the offensive coordinator. So I don't know.
Yeah.
I don't know how much of a change that really is, Jaclyn. But yeah, disappointing with the Bills for sure. But to look on the bright side, I think we're in for a great game tonight. I know the spread is about 5.5 for the Seahawks. I personally expect it to be a lot closer than that.
100% agreed. I believe this is gonna be a tight game. I showed you my parlay last night when I saw you at our friend's birthday party. I in my parlay I have a lot of different touchdowns, receptions, yards, but I have the Seahawks winning in the end. 100% agreed that it's going to be a close game. It's not going to be easy. I know the Patriots. Listen, the Patriots had an easy schedule, is kind of what everyone's kind of been talking about this whole season. They had a very easy schedule, and then even in the playoffs, like you look at the offenses that they had to face. Chargers offense was so banged up and injured. There wasn't really anything going on there. The Texans, we saw that offense, and it was probably one of the worst performances you will ever see by a quarterback. CJ Stroud, I still believe that he can make a comeback of some sort, but it was ugly. And then the Broncos without Bo Nix. So, you look at these matchups that they had to face, it's not like they were under so much pressure. However, Drake May had to play against great defenses like the Texans, like the Broncos, and now against the Seahawks tonight.
I don't think it's crazy if a lot of fans feel like the Patriots and May were sort of gifted this ride, right? Like the Texans looked abysmal. I mean, CJ Stroud was a total embarrassment. The Chargers were probably, if not the worst team in the playoffs, a bottom 3 team heading into the playoffs. And that game was like a snow game with a backup quarterback. I think if that's regular conditions with Bo Nix, the Patriots probably don't win that game. So
Agreed.
the only thing I'll say, Jaclyn, I also agreed with you when we were chatting last night a little bit about this game. I have the Seahawks winning. My only thing is, a lot of times we notice the winner of these games, not always Jaclyn, but a lot of times it's who's the better quarterback, who's the best quarterback. Now, again, we've seen upsets. We've seen Eli Manning beat Tom Brady. We all know. As much as we
We've
love Eli
seen
Manning, we know Eli Manning's not Tom Brady. Yeah, as much as we love him, he's not
soon to
Tom
be Hall
Brady.
of Famer. Not
Soon
this
to-
year. Got snubbed, but hopefully soon.
Yeah, hopefully so. I'm happy to talk about that for sure. But
Yeah.
so I guess my only thing is I clearly any day, as much as I'm not a Drake May fan, I would take Drake May over Sam Darnold any day.
Yeah.
So does Sam Darnold show up? I'm curious what you think, Jaclyn. Is he going to show up? Is he going to be, be good tonight?
Yeah, you know what? I doubted Darnold. When he signed with the Seahawks. But listen, the Vikings moving on from him now is one of the worst decisions they've probably ever made. But it wasn't last year. And when the Seahawks then signed him, it was like they're going from Geno Smith to Sam Darnold. This is not an upgrade in any sense. However, Darnold has proved himself to be a quarterback. I don't know if he's an elite quarterback, but he's a starting quarterback and he deserves it. When I look at the Patriots defense, because listen, they do have a great defense, 100%. Darnold, I'm a little worried for him because he hasn't had to face these dominant defenses. The Niners defense injured, right? The Rams defense isn't, they're not known for their amazing defense or anything. So they haven't had to actually face a great defense. So there is a part of me that is worried that the lights are going to be too bright for Darnold. But at the same time, Listen, he's a veteran. He's been to a Super Bowl as a backup quarterback. He's been here before. And then you look at Drake May, who has not been good in the playoffs at all. At all. Amazing in the regular season. He came in second place for MVP voting. Amazing, amazing job. But I think I actually trust Sam Darnold in this position more than I trust Drake May.
Yeah, I think that's a interesting take.
Yeah.
The one thing I think Sam Darnold has going for him too tonight that you can never discount is the 12th man in the Legion of Boom. I don't know if they're actually called the Legion of Boom anymore, but they have
I would still call them that, yeah.
Sure, yeah. So fortunately for Sam Darnold, yeah, again, I mean, you can call them Legion of Boom, but the 12th man is still very real. Obviously, this is on neutral field, so the 12th man doesn't matter tonight, but I assume, lots of Hawks fans will travel, same with Patriots fans. So the 12th man doesn't matter, but the Legion of Boom, I think, does matter, and they still have that same smash mouth defense. Yes, they don't necessarily have Richard Sherman, who is like that leader and the big talker and possible Hall of Famer coming up the next couple of years if he gets in. I don't know. I expect that defense to be there. I think it's going to be a tough test for Drake May. I think it's going to be a close contest. And you know what? If I had to bet, I would take Hawks money line, but I think there's a lot of value on the Patriots being plus 5.5. I think there's a lot of value there.
100% agreed. I think the idea that the Seahawks are going to blow them out is absolutely insane. Vrabel has proved that he's an amazing coach and can adjust to any system. He just won Coach of the Year at NFL Honors this past week. Deserved 100%. I know you and I didn't really talk about so much of awards. We talked about MVP, and the guy that we wanted to win won. Stafford deserved 100%. One of the best, performances that you will see from a quarterback in recent years. But Vrabel is an amazing, amazing coach. He's been to Super Bowl as a player with the Patriots, so he knows how to adjust to certain systems. And clearly these guys love him. They love what he's teaching them, how he supports them. So Vrabel's going to be able to adjust to what they're playing now versus playing. But remember, they also played on the road a lot, like Denver, for example. They didn't play on the road a lot, sorry, but Denver was on the road. And that was a wild game. It was loud in there. It was loud in Denver. Even with Denver having their backup quarterback in, it was a wild game. And so they're going to adjust to any kind of noise and sound that they have to deal with. And I think they actually were practicing yesterday, and Bad Bunny started doing sound check, and they had to adjust to that even to focus. So some sort of storyline going on there, but they're clearly dealing with stuff, and they're definitely going to be prepared for whatever Seattle brings to them.
I think that's a great point, Jaclyn. And just to make a few points, I want to hop on Vrabel quickly. He could become the first person ever to be a head coach and player to win a Super Bowl. It's never happened before, so that's pretty cool. I think, or it might be the same team because I don't know if it's happened before, but I believe to be on the same team and be a player and a head coach, it's never happened. So that'd be a pretty cool thing tonight that could possibly happen.
Yeah.
If they can overcome, being underdogs. To go back to the awards, Matthew Stafford totally deserved it. I know there are some people trying to argue for Drake May. I think that would have been a disaster. Matthew Stafford, at the age of 37, creeping up to the 40s, had maybe the best year of his career. He was fantastic. Just an amazing quarterback. And I was going to make a point. If we didn't have our young quarterback, he's a guy I wouldn't mind having for a year or two. Obviously, we have our quarterback. When I say us, I mean the Giants, of course.
The Giants, of course. I hope people who watch this podcast already know that we're Giants.
When I say we, they should know. They should know.
They should know. Come on.
And then just my final point, Jaclyn, about the awards. I mean, to touch on the Hall of Fame very quickly. 2 snubs. I mean, let's start with the big snub, the story that everyone's talking about. I'm sure you wanted to chat about at some point. Honestly, gross incompetence. I don't know if it's jealousy. I don't know if it's haters. I don't know if it's politics, but one of the most incompetent things I've seen in my entire life being a sports fan. You just disallowed the greatest human being to ever walk this earth as a coach not to get into the Hall of Fame. I don't care cheating scandals. I don't care what anyone says. It's not even a question. He's the greatest NFL coach of all time, and it really bothered me. It really, really bothered me that he didn't get in.
Bill Belichick, obviously one of the greatest, arguably the greatest coach of all time. Tons of Super Bowls, tons of playoff wins. Even as an assistant coach, a winner. I'm not a huge Belichick fan. I kind of think Brady was the mind behind all that. Sure. But the fact that Belichick did not make the Hall of Fame is absurd, and it's a disgrace to the game of football. Because
So
how, yeah, go on.
no, I sorry to cut you off, Jaclyn. I agree. Disgraceful is the best word. I mean, what? So I understand. And by the way, the Brady stuff is true. Brady left, goes, wins another Super Bowl with another team. Belichick didn't do anything. So I agree with you. Brady won, Belichick too. I think we all know that at this point. That
Yeah.
debate's over. That ship
Yeah.
has sailed. But what more do you want a coach to do? He won 6 I don't like. So if you're not putting Belichick in, I hope if a coach wins 15 Super Bowls, they don't get in. What are you asking for? It doesn't make any sense to me. So now, and my issue is you're going to have all these guys retiring in the next few years, the Coughlins, the Harbaughs. None of them should be first ballot then. None of them have
No.
6 Super Bowls. I think it's disgraceful. I don't know. Again, like I said, I don't know if it's politics, if it's this cheating scandals. Really,
Yeah.
really disgraceful. And then obviously, just as a tidbit, like Eli Manning, again, disappointing, right? I don't know what he's going to have to do. Brady's coming up, Roethlisberger, all these quarterbacks that are great are coming up. So he might not get in for a few years at this point.
It could be. Listen, it was amazing class this year, right? We saw guys like Luke Kuechly, Larry Fitzgerald, who undoubtedly is one of the greatest wide receivers ever. Drew Brees, like we had some great names in this class, so I'm not taking away from any of these guys. But last year was, we were shocked that Eli did not make it, and then it's this year, and then it's how long do we have to wait? Because some guys, it takes a really long time.
Yeah.
And maybe Eli will, because Eli wasn't seen as an elite quarterback. And yes, you can go and say why he is, but when you look at the regular season, Eli, I guess he kind of wasn't an elite quarterback. 2-time Super Bowl champion, right? MVP in the Super Bowl, the greatest Super Bowl performer ever. Our GOAT.
Yeah.
But I guess, I'm hurt that he's not getting inducted. But at the same time, I get it. Because you look at Breeze, and Breeze was just a better quarterback in general.
I think with Eli, he gets in, and maybe takes 5-10 years. I do think he gets in. Like I think before me and you, like maybe we're in our, I don't know. I was gonna say an age. It's hard to say what age will be, but I think he gets in. Like whether we're like grandparents or not, I don't know. But I think he will get in eventually.
Yeah.
I think he was too good in the postseason not to get in. But yeah, I mean to just touch on the Belichick for just one more quick second.
Yeah, go for it.
Really disgraceful. And it's hard for me not to kind of harp on about it because I don't know, like I don't know if there was an Olympic Hall of Fame. Imagine Michael Phelps wasn't first ballot. Like that's what I'm saying. Like
Biles, Michael Phelps,
right,
Usain
or
Bolt.
like Usain Bolt, or I don't know. There's a lot of people that have been great. Or if you were putting teams in, like imagine you didn't put the Canada men's team, Canada hockey team into the Hall of Fame. You're like, oh no, they're not first ballot. They haven't won enough gold medals. Like just outrageous to not put him in as a first ballot. So he's going to get in next year, of course, right? There's no doubt he gets in next year, and it's like. Actually, at this point, maybe you don't let him in next year and you get him in with Brady. That could be actually cool.
That could be very cool,
right? I honestly think like maybe you just make him wait the one extra year at this point. You already were disgraceful in your voting, so
I like that. I like that a lot.
Yeah, but I don't know like what's next. Brady doesn't get in first ballot. I just don't understand. Of course he is. I'm just saying that, but like I wish I knew, Jaclyn. I don't know if we're privy to that information, or do you know if any articles came out about that or any information about why he didn't get in? Like, do we know?
I think there's just these takes about that the NFL is kind of punishing him for the cheating scandals and for all of the other controversies that has happened within the Patriots organization and Belichick. So I think it comes down to that. But then Brady should be at fault too, right? Brady was suspended. So where does that go? I want to go back into the Super Bowl tonight. Do you see any certain player maybe making a really big impact that you wouldn't expect? Like the way Malcolm Butler had the game-winning interception 10 years ago, or sorry, 11 years ago at this point. No. Yes, 11 years ago.
Wow. I didn't realize it was 11 years, Jaclyn. I did not realize.
I know.
Wow.
I know.
Time flies. How many years ago was the Falcons Patriots? Do you know?
That was 9 years ago.
Wow, that's a game. We'll never have a game that good. I'll say me and you will die, hopefully not for many, many years, and we'll never have a game that good. I'll tell you that right now.
I don't think so. Man.
It's
that
impossible.
come back.
28-3. I mean, we'll never have it again.
The greatest.
Look, I don't know, like, and it's hard, right? Because, I'm sure there was a podcast like this, Jaclyn, where people are like, who do you think, who's a random player? And then they said, and it wasn't Malcolm Butler because he was so random that Robert Kraft didn't know his name. Robert Kraft literally didn't know his player's name. This is what I'll say. Not a random guy. Superstar. I think JSN wins MVP. I think the Seahawks win and JSN has, I'm going to say 2 touchdowns, 120 and 9 catches. So it's not an unknown player. I just think that JSN is going to ball out and have maybe the best game of his life on the biggest stage.
Yeah.
He's an absolute superstar. Again, I'm not claiming this to be bold. I'm not claiming it to be an unknown. I just say JSN wins MVP, which is very rare. You don't usually see a receiver winning it.
Yeah.
And I see him maybe even having a game-winning touchdown with like under 2 minutes or under a minute. Yeah.
Interesting. See, I'm going Darnold MVP, but I think a player that's gonna have a great game is a former Super Bowl champion and a former Super Bowl MVP, Cooper Kupp, who was nowhere to be found all regular season on the Seahawks, right? Former LA Ram. Then he kind of shined in this playoffs, and we got to see a lot from him, a lot more. I think he's gonna have that in this game. That's my prediction, that we're gonna see a lot of Cooper Kupp. Just making some great catches, at least one touchdown. I'm gonna say one touchdown. I think Darnold's gonna have I really think Darnold's gonna shine. Like there's something about Darnold. I just feel like he's gonna prove himself, because he's had all these years. He's had to prove himself, right? The mono stuff, the seeing ghost stuff. There's been all these reasons as to why he should not be here in the NFL, and he is here, and it will just be the greatest story.
What's fun about your Cooper Kupp, Jaclyn, is that he at one point was a top 3 receiver, maybe top 1 receiver. Like he was the guy on the Rams, right? So I really like that prediction. He looks like he's been heating up in the playoffs. He had a touchdown or 2, I think, recently. So I like that prediction a lot.
Nice.
I'm trying to think of like a defensive player who like is kind of on, low key, who I could think who maybe has a big interception. Truthfully, I don't have anyone coming to mind right now.
I can't think of, honestly. I can't even think about the guys on defense. Honestly.
Yeah. It's hard for me to think of someone specifically like who's gonna like make maybe a big strip sack fumble or
Leonard Williams of the Seahawks, former New York Giant.
Yeah, he's a good player. Yeah, I mean that'd be fun. That'd be really fun. I'm just gonna stay with JSN. I'm not gonna just pick someone random. Just to do it. JSN. I just see him. I like I said, I see him having a game-winning touchdown with either less than 2 minutes or less than a minute. Yeah. With maybe like the Hawks down by like 3 or 4, something like that.
Yeah. I like that.
Yeah,
that's fun. That's fun.
Yeah, it's gonna be a great game. Look, both teams have won the Super Bowl before. Both teams have had very close games down to the wire. They've obviously faced each other, as we know. The Seahawks are looking for revenge, like big time revenge. Let me ask you something fun, Jaclyn. 35 seconds left. The Seattle Seahawks are on the 2-yard line. Do they throw the ball or do they run it?
Oh boy, you're gonna trigger a lot of Seahawks fans right now. Oh my goodness, get Marshawn Lynch in the game and give him the ball. Listen, if it happens again, you know what? I'm gonna say they're gonna throw the ball.
Wow.
They're gonna throw. They're not gonna throw the way Russell Wilson threw it. Sure. It's gonna be a scramble. I think it's gonna be an option actually for Darnold. It's gonna be a play action scramble. Bunch of guys on the right side, and he has the option to run or throw it. I think the play call was absolutely atrocious. The Russell Wilson play call to throw it right in front of him down the center like that was the dumbest move in a Super Bowl ever. So I think they're gonna throw it because listen, everyone knows that the whole not running it at the 1-yard line. The Patriots know that too. The Patriots know that it could come down to that, and they're it's gonna be a creative play call is what I'm gonna say.
I mean, what's so interesting, Jaclyn, is like, what if like something similar happens again this year? It's like close game and someone throws like an interception or fumbles on the 1. Like, can you imagine? Like, I mean,
dude, there are so many narratives in this game, and that's what's so interesting. And I didn't even touch on that. This is the first year in a long time where I don't care who wins. Like, there's no team that I don't like. Like, I actually kind of like the Seahawks, and I actually kind of like the Patriots. As Giants fans, we've always not liked the Patriots, but there's no more Belichick, there's no more Brady. Who cares? Yeah. It's Drake May and Steve Vrabel. What does that mean to the Giants? It means nothing. So the fact that like you gotta just kind of enjoy this game, because remember last year it was the Eagles, but also I didn't like the Chiefs, so I don't like the Chiefs in the Super Bowl. I don't like the Eagles Super Bowl. So it's like there's always these teams that you don't like. First year in a long time where I kind of like both teams, and both stories are amazing because the Patriots side is Drake May, second year in the NFL. Last year was a terrible year. They won 3 games. Steve Vrabel takes control of this team, and look at what has come about this team. That offense, Stephon Diggs has as a receiver once again, who was nowhere to be found for the past couple of seasons. So you look at that story, and then you look at Seattle's story, where all of a sudden, new coach, new quarterback, no more DK Metcalf, a whole new system going on. They lost their starting running back as well. If they win it, that's a whole other story there too. And then it's also revenge for 2015. Both sides, amazing story.
I'm with you, Jaclyn. I think it's a really exciting game. I'm with you too. I don't really have that much of a dog in the fight. I haven't put any bets in.
Okay.
And I'm with you. I don't love either team. I don't hate either team. Kind of
Mhm.
just looking for a great game. And maybe some late fireworks, like I
Yeah.
said, if we have a late fumble or a late, I don't know, interception or just something wild, it'd be super, super exciting. Um, I think a really, really close game is what we're gonna see. And I know you just gave a shout out to Diggs. I think he's an X factor too for the Pats. Sort of someone who's not been as great last few years. He's gotten in some legal troubles, some team drama. I wonder if he can make some big catches down the stretch tonight. Right, a guy who we know has been a superstar. I believe he was involved in the Minneapolis Miracle, if I'm not incorrect, a few years back.
Yes, it
Right?
was his catch, man. Case Keenum to Stephon Diggs.
Yeah, so he's made big time plays and big time moments in the past.
Yeah.
Now he's not the same guy he was then, but still a very effective wide receiver. I think we're in for a treat tonight, Jaclyn. It's been a couple weeks, so I feel like I'm getting that football brain,
Yeah.
screwed back on.
Yeah.
I don't know. Do you have any score predictions? Like, what do you think for the
You
final
know
score?
what? I'm gonna go 28-24 Seahawks.
That's so weird. On
Rolling with
my
it, man.
life, Jaclyn. On my life. I was
We-
gonna say 28-24 Seahawks on my life.
Dude,
On my
maybe it's gonna
life.
happen. Maybe it's gonna
I'm gonna
happen. We
so
had
I'm gonna
we
stick
had
with it.
something going on.
That was scary because that was the number in my head. I'm gonna stick with it. I'm gonna say that
That's crazy.
if my math is correct, I'm gonna say that the Seahawks will be down 24-21 and a late catch with maybe, let's say, 55 seconds left to JSN for the win.
That's what I'm
That's what
telling
I'll
you,
say.
man. Listen, I see it. I believe it. Like I really see
Which
that happening.
which is exciting, Jack, because if JSN gets a touchdown with 55 seconds left, that means that Drake May has a chance. Less than a minute left, season on the line. So if that actually happens, which is super
Wow.
unlikely, obviously, that would be a very exciting ending. Very,
That'd
very
be
exciting.
insane. That'd be insane. But yeah, super excited for Super Bowl. Who doesn't love Super Bowl? 60th Super Bowl, man. Like Super Bowl Sunday, nothing like it. I want to talk a little bit about the NBA trade deadline. Just kind of go through it
Yeah.
quickly.
Can I ask you before we get
Yeah,
into it, Jacqueline, any good food you're having tonight? What's the food you're eating?
we're doing wings. We're
Okay.
doing wings, like honey
Cool.
garlic wings,
Cool.
fries. I'm
Yeah.
bringing like a big cookie to the watch
Cool.
party. Gonna have some snacks. Yeah, how about you? We doing pizza,
Yeah.
wings?
Wings, pizza. I don't know about fries. Wings, pizza, chips, like all that
Yeah.
stuff. Yeah, all the good
This
stuff.
Super
Yeah.
Bowl is about the food, it's
Yeah.
about the people, the food,
Yeah.
and then it's like the game is third or fourth maybe on the list.
Yeah.
But yeah, trade deadline, a lot of moves. James Harden to the Cavs, Anthony Davis to the Wizards, Jared McCain to the Thunder, which I think is a terrible move, but I'm not going to talk about that in this episode. The Raptors got Chris Paul for about. We thought he was going to be our point guard for 10 minutes, and now it seems like he's not going to be playing with us. What did you think when you heard about Chris Paul coming to TO?
Yeah, if he came here 6 years ago, we'd be like, "Oh my God, bring another ring home! Like we're the best! Like woohoo!" I mean, six
Yeah,
years ago, 6 years ago we actually won the championship. But if he was
yeah.
coming here, let's say 10 years ago, 5 years ago, even 3 years ago, like fantastic. Old, washed up. I don't even know like how much he's playing or not playing these days. But he's 40 years old, and I heard he's probably not going to play for us, or he might be waived, or however that works. So yeah, I mean, exciting if this happened a few years ago.
Mhm.
But we got the guy about 15 to 20 years too late.
Yeah,
So
exactly.
yeah, I didn't really have much thoughts. What about you, Jacqueline?
Yeah, no, listen, for the 5 minutes where we thought he was actually going to be on the team, it was exciting just to have a veteran a part of our squad.
Sure.
But then it was revealed that it was really just for tax purposes, why we even traded for
Yeah.
him, and he's probably just going to be waived or something. So
Yeah.
the dream kind of died down. And then yeah, you were going to say
I was
something?
gonna say, if it feels so Toronto-like, it's almost like the Leafs getting like not sorry, Austin. It's like the Leafs getting Connor McDavid when he's like 42 years old
Yeah,
and like an old man and like getting like 5 points a year. Like so
exactly,
Toronto,
man.
so Toronto.
Exactly. But and then last, I want to talk about Olympics. We have Winter Olympics going on. It's so bizarre right now because we have Super Bowl today, but there's the
Yeah,
Olympics on. I want to watch everything.
yeah,
Lindsey Vonn has been competing with a torn ACL. I'm sure you've heard about the story. This morning, though, during a race, she got in a terrible crash and had to be
yeah,
airlifted to the hospital. It looked terrible. People are blaming her for skiing on her ACL. It wasn't the ACL. It wasn't her leg that did it. Something got caught in like when she was making that turn.
yeah.
Terrible stuff. But what do you think of Lindsey Vonn actually competing though with a torn
Yeah.
ACL?
So interesting, Jaclyn. I'm a diehard. I don't know. Your fans wouldn't know this. We never talked about the Olympics before. I'm a diehard Olympics fan. My roommates in university hated me because I would wake up in the middle of the night during, I want to say it's Sochi, yeah, Sochi Olympics at like
Yeah,
3, 4 in the morning and be screaming. My roommates
I did
hated
not
me.
know this.
Yeah, so people don't know this, but I mean a lot. People, Jaclyn, I'm a diehard. Not summer. Summer I don't care for, but Winter Olympics
Really?
specifically, diehard fan. I've been waking up pretty early these days and watching.
Yeah,
So I of course saw Lindsey Vonn, heartbreaking. She's 41 years old. I was super excited. I wanted her to win gold. Um, Obviously love cheering for Canadians, but Lindsey Vonn is just such a great story.
yeah,
Yeah, I mean it's heartbreaking. The reports are she's going to be totally fine.
yeah.
She was airlifted to the hospital, but she'll be okay. But I mean, in other good news, to just break to your fans, I don't know if they watch Olympics or not. Valerie Malte won her first medal for Canada. She's someone who I've actually followed for years because she used to do short track. My favorite event since I'm maybe 8 years old, Jaclyn,
What?
is short track speed skating. I follow all the athletes, love short track speed skating. Valerie Malte switched to regular speed skating or long track speed skating, and she actually won bronze yesterday in the
Yeah.
3,000 meters. So that was super exciting, and I've known her for years and years and years. I know I'm breaking news. You're in shock right now. You did
This
not
is
know this about me.
amazing,
Yeah,
Owen.
yeah.
I
So
love this.
yeah, so I'm like a diehard. So if you want someone to come on and talk about specifically short track speed skating, it's like my jam. I love it.
Dude, that is
Um,
crazy.
yeah, yeah. I don't know if some of your fans know like Charles Hamlin and Kim Boutin and
They
all
will
these.
they do now.
Yeah, yeah. So if people are interested in short track speed skating, look up Charles Hamlin. He's like my all-time short track hero. He won a bunch of medals for Canada over the Olympics. In terms of skiing, we still have Mikael Kingsbury. He's the
Yeah,
guy who
yeah.
won gold on home soil in 2010, and then I believe won gold in Sochi, if I'm not wrong. Um,
I think
so,
so.
anyways, a lot of exciting athletes. Of
I
course, we
love
have our
this.
our hockey team, our Canadian hockey team, which is amazing.
Amazing. No,
Crosby,
the women's yesterday against Switzerland
they look
won
great.
4-0. 55 shots on goal
Yeah,
versus 6 shots on goal.
yeah.
Uh
So
Dominant.
the Switzerland goalie was amazing, right? She was awesome,
Fantastic.
amazing, amazing.
Fantastic.
Yeah, yeah, yeah. I
Like
mean, I
so
was
much
saying,
respect.
I know it's the first game, so I think maybe the chemistry's not fully there. I thought it was a bit concerning that they only scored on the power play besides the last goal. I
Yeah.
assume it's game one, a little bit of jitters. Game two, game three, they'll
Yeah.
probably get the offense going. So
Yeah.
exciting stuff.
Exciting stuff. How do you feel about Seth Jarvis coming to Team Canada and him being the replacement for it was Braden Point, right? Who
Yeah,
got
yeah,
injured,
yeah,
and
yeah,
not Connor Bedard.
yeah. I mean, a lot of people were disappointed. I just think, without a doubt, John Cooper just didn't want Bedard on this team. I just like let's call a spade a spade. Like I don't think it's personal, but for whatever his reasoning is, he liked this is the same Four Nations team, so he obviously really liked the Four Nations team.
Yeah, true,
Um,
true.
maybe it's immaturity, maybe it's I'm not sure exactly what it is, but I'm fine. Jarvis is a great player, about a point a game player this year. He's been on the big stage before. I'm fine with it. How do you feel, Jaclyn?
Yeah, you know what? I like Seth Jarvis. Obviously, I really want to see Bedard, but maybe he's not fully healthy. Like, I know he's back from his injury, but I don't know. Maybe there's like he's missing a step or something. Seth Jarvis, I loved watching with Four Nations. I love his personality. A lot of hockey players don't have a ton of personality, and I'm not saying that to bash these guys. It's just kind of a known thing that a lot of NHL guys just don't have that big of a personality. Seth Jarvis does, and it's really fun to see someone like who's like a wild kid. His buddies travel to see him. I hope his buddies are gonna go watch him in Italy. But I think it's exciting. I think it's fun. I think there's a lot of personality on this team, and I think we really need that because we're a great team, great scores, but we need a little personality too. So it would have been nice to see Bedard, but Bedard will have his chance, and I'm just excited for Jarvis. And dude, Crosby was named as captain today. Obviously, I don't think anyone
Yeah.
thought anything else, but I'm so excited. Like I'm really so excited to watch.
I might be one of the few people in the minority. I actually, and I had a lot of people saying I'm stupid and they disagree with me. I actually think McDavid makes more sense. He's the guy who's going to carry the torch. And McDavid at this point is about 30, maybe 29, 30.
Yeah.
So there's actually a big part of me that's like maybe McDavid. And I get it. It'd be disrespectful. Like Crosby's the golden boy, the golden goal. So I know Cooper would never actually do that. But there is a big part of me that's like McDavid's going to be the guy in his next Olympics where he's going to be 33. Crosby will be long gone, right?
True.
McDavid is for sure the captain in the next games. Like there's no doubt about that. So I know it might be an unpopular opinion, but I actually would have preferred to see McDavid with the C. I understand it's disrespectful to Sidney Crosby, the golden boy, Canada's GOAT besides Gretzky, but I kind of would have liked to see McDavid with the C.
You know what? I get that. And I think that's a totally valid point. You make a great argument as well. Yeah, personally, I'm just happy to see Crosby there. It's very nostalgic as well for all of us. Like, listen, we haven't seen these guys play in the Olympics since 2014. Like, I
Yeah,
was in grade seven. I remember watching the women's hockey at like lunchtime or something,
yeah.
and seeing them win gold. Like, I remember this
I
stuff.
was I was in high school pretty fresh, and I'll never forget because obviously one of my
Yeah.
all-time heroes, one of my goats, PK Subban, was on that team,
Yes.
and Carey Price, also one of my goats, one of my heroes. So it was really fun to see them win gold together. Um, yeah, I mean, listen, I expect gold or silver. Silver's a failure, of course.
Oh,
Um,
yeah.
Huge failure. No, silver's huge. I'm not saying like silver, I'm happy, but I'm just saying we obviously I think gold or silver is like not really much up for debate. It's just a matter, do we beat the Americans or not? To be determined, right?
I say yes. You know how I feel about Matthews, and I know he's leading that team. Matthews is an amazing player. We'll never bash that, but I just don't see him as being a winner as a leader. And I
The,
think that, Canada has that advantage there.
the one thing, and it's also disgraceful, not as disgraceful as Belichick, but disgraceful. They left off Jason Robertson and Cole Caulfield just so people can contextualize that. They left
Yeah.
off two top five or top six goal scorers. Caulfield has 32 or 33 going into the break,
Mhm.
and Robertson, I believe, 30 or 31. They left off over 60 goals. There's no argument any American. I don't know if you have any Americans watching this. I'll speak
Yeah.
directly to you Americans. If you can try to tell me that Cole Caulfield and Jason Robertson didn't belong on that hockey team, you're crazy. And that's not me as a Habs fan. That is objectively the truth. Cole Caulfield should have
Mhm.
been on the second or third line for Team USA. It's the same thing with Robertson. I don't understand it at all. But as a Canadian, I'm happy because you know what that means for me? That means that my star player on the Habs gets to rest, no risk of injury, and it's better for Team Canada. Cole Caulfield's the type of guy that could score he could get the game-winning goal in the big game, right? Because
Yeah.
he's not going to have the attention of a Matthews or some of these other guys. He could have been a guy who could score a game-winning goal in overtime. Now we don't have to worry about that. So thank you, Team USA, for being stupid.
Listen, it's nice when you also get to see your guy Suzuki on
Yep,
Canada. So you have like your one guy that you get to cheer for, and
yep,
then like obviously you already don't like Matthews because you're a Habs fan.
correct.
So it's better. It's even better for you.
It works out better. Also, like, listen, I'd be happy for Caulfield being on Team USA, but the truth is, he risks injury. So now he gets to relax, go to Cabo, go whatever he's going to do, have some fun, rest up, maybe have a couple alcoholic drinks, and then come back and win the cup for the boys.
Sure, why
Perfect.
not? But no, dude, listen, Habs have been fun to watch. Don't get me wrong,
Yep.
but Olympics, like this is where
Yeah.
my love for hockey is. Like NHL's fine, like you know how I feel about NHL. Olympic hockey, Canada hockey, nothing like it. And listen, I was actually going to ask you before you even said it. I was going to say, what do you prefer, summer or winter Olympics? And you just said winter. A lot of people prefer summer, and I don't know
So
where I'm at. I don't know
I
where
will
I'm
tell you,
at.
Jacqueline, I'm a die-hard Winter Olympics. I actually have it on in the background right now. Right now, I think I have figure skating on, so it's not really my favorite event. But I
Yeah.
am a die-hard. Like I remember screaming for Tessa Virtue and Scott Moyer, like
Yes,
screaming,
of
right?
course.
So I'm a huge winter. I don't really care for summer. I think summer actually kind of really not into it. Yeah, I
Wow.
know. And people are gonna be like, the grass, though, the grass, you're disrespectful. Oh, and I don't know. I
Come
don't care for that.
on.
I find it boring. Um, but like I live for Winter Olympics. Like every 4 years, like I am tingling, you know?
That's amazing. No, like when I look at Summer Olympics, I cheer for a lot of the Americans because like Simone Biles. So
Yeah.
I think one of the greatest Olympians. I think honestly the greatest athlete in the world, Simone Biles.
I
Like, yeah,
I'll say this. I'm sorry to cut you off, Jacqueline. If people want to kind of look into this, I'll tell the story very fast. I know you have to go in a second. Lindsay Jacob Ellis, she competes in snowboarding. I forget what it's called, but you know the event, Jacqueline, where four people go down, they're all racing each other, and you have to come kind of top one or
yes,
two, and then
yes,
move
yes,
on.
yes. I
So
don't know what it's called either.
I'm totally, and I follow a lot of these athletes on Instagram, a lot of these Olympians, a lot of Americans and Canadians, and some from other random countries. So she's American, and she's in that event, snowboarding, where they go down, they race three other people. Um, in 2010, I want to say, or maybe '06, she was the heavy favorite, and she's going into the last jump, way ahead of the pack. She does a trick in the air, falls, gets silver, disgraced by all Americans. Like she was supposed to be on the box of Wheaties. She was supposed to do a world tour, like celebrating gold, and she does a trick. She gets cocky as a young kid. She's 18 or 19. Okay. Anyways, fast forward 2010, 20. She chokes all the Olympics. Okay. She chokes like she never wins. Even though she was a favorite time after time. Going into 2022, she actually, I think, got some sort of coach, maybe a mental coach, whatever. Anyways, really good feel good story. She actually wins two gold medals in 2022. She gets over the hump after many, many years,
Wow.
wins gold. And I actually think she's not in these Olympics because she's like a broadcaster now. So if
Yeah,
people want to kind of look at a feel good story, and if you want to go on YouTube after Jacqueline,
I'm gonna check it out.
Look it up. You'll be very interested in it. Lindsay Jacob Ellis. snowboarder,
Yeah.
finally wins 2 golds in 2022. American too, so it's interesting. But her career was not easy. But yeah, if you want to see something interesting, go on YouTube and look her up after.
Wow. Listen, that's what the Olympics are about. It's amazing stories.
I have another question for you. Very important. I know you have to go. I'll also make my prediction. If it comes down to a game-winning goal, let's say overtime or end of third period, who do you have for Team Canada?
McDavid scoring.
Just like Four Nations, eh?
McDavid is scoring
Wow.
that goal like exactly, like not exactly because they have to have a different kind of game plan, different play there. I'm going McDavid though.
Okay, I'm gonna do 2 predictions. I'm gonna do
Okay.
the biased one and the real one. The biased one is Nick Suzuki. Okay,
Of
unexpected
course.
third line guy, right? Probably on the third line. I expect Nick Suzuki. That's my fun prediction of like in like a world where like I literally will run around the streets naked if it's Nick Suzuki.
Yeah.
Okay, I might run to Montreal. I might run to Montreal naked if it's Nick Suzuki. My real prediction and the fastest player on earth. Some people, and it's hard to say best player on earth, but for sure the second or third greatest player on earth and the fastest player in the NHL. I'm going Nathan McKinnon. Cole Harbour, Nova Scotia.
Great
Good
player,
friends
man.
with Sidney Crosby. I'm going with Nathan McKinnon, game-winning goal.
Listen, what's like a shock? Seth Jarvis? A Seth Jarvis goal?
Marshy would be crazy.
That would be amazing.
Yeah.
Marshy with the overtime, nothing like it.
Another one that
Nothing
would be
like it.
another one that would be insane, Jaclyn, because offensively he's been terrible and he's just here to be a lockdown defender. Crazy because he's so old. Drew Doughty would be a crazy game-winning goal. A clapper from Drew
Defenseman
Doughty
a slap shot, OT
from the blue
goal.
line would be crazy. Would be crazy.
Celebrini goal would be amazing too because he's such a
Off.
young kid. Like
Off Jaclyn.
he'd be a
Injured.
legend.
No. Celebrini's off the team. He got injured. I'm breaking that news to you. I guess you know that. Celebrini got hurt. He's off the team.
What?
Unless I'm crazy, I'm about 99% sure. You can look it up right now if you want.
Macklin
Pretty sure
Celebrini.
Pretty sure he got hurt and he's off the team. Please fact check me because I don't want to sound stupid in front of the viewers. Pretty sure he got hurt and was booted off the team. I'm pretty sure.
Right now.
I'm shocked you didn't know that though. I'm like actually very shocked. But I'm pretty sure he got hurt and he's off the team.
No, I don't see anything.
Are you sure?
Yeah. Are you
Okay,
thinking of Sorelli?
Sorry, you're right. Sorelli. Sorry.
I'm gonna cut that. I'm gonna cut that.
You
Don't
don't
worry.
have to cut it. It was an honest mistake. That's fine. You're right. It is Sorelli. Sorry. I totally confused them. It is Sorelli. You don't have
Can't
to cut
breathe.
it. Leave it. It's an honest mistake. Don't cut that.
I can't
Don't cut
believe
that.
you scared me like
No,
scared me
you're right.
like that. That
You're right. The
Celebrini
names
was off.
confused me. Sorry, not Celebrini. Yes.
Celebrini could score the overtime winning goal.
And that is totally my bad. He could. I don't see that happening,
hilarious.
but yes. Sorry, the names totally just got mixed in my mind. That's crazy. Yeah.
Man, you
We're humans,
scared
though.
me.
Yeah, but look, Jaclyn, this is the thing about podcasting. We're humans.
We're humans. We're not editing anything out. We're keeping that. Owen is standing by his mistake. I've made mistakes too. Trust me. I got roasted for calling Tavares Jonathan Tavares.
Is that really a big deal? Is that really a big
people
deal?
are roasting me for it. People are roasting
Really?
me for it.
I hope I get roasted. Listen, we had someone, by the way, I just want to say this. That was a big mistake by me. That was a little bit embarrassing. Do not cut it, though, please. I want to say this, Jaclyn. When we had our World Series recap, debrief, whatever you want to call it, crying session, people were saying that I had mental health problems in the comment section. So
People were brutal.
roasting me. People literally said I had mental health problems. So I don't mind if they're like, "Oh, your cousin's an idiot, doesn't know anything about hockey." Totally fine. If Canada wins gold, you guys can roast me and say I have mental health problems and say whatever you want.
We're gonna
It's
be going
totally-
crazy.
I will say, Jaclyn, it was kind of offside though because I didn't do anything that bad, and there was people in the comments be like, "Your cousin has like mental issues." I was like, "Yo, I didn't say anything that bad."
That's
Like,
just comment sections. People
Yeah.
are gonna say anything. That's kind of what I've learned, and that's what you got. Like people who watch the show, sometimes I get some out of pocket comments, and I'm like, okay. Trust me, I've got some crazy comments. I've got
I know
some
you get
wild.
some gender stuff. I know you get gender comments. I've seen.
Oh
stuff.
yeah.
Anyways, I correct myself. Sorelli's off the team. Injury. Sorry, Jaclyn. Sorry, fans. Sorry, Canadians. Sorry, Americans. Sorelli.
Everyone can take a deep breath. Everyone
You're
can
good.
take a deep breath.
But I will say Sorelli's
So-
sad too. Young superstar. Very disappointing
sure.
too, right? So
Sure,
that's sad
but
also.
I'm excited for Celebrini, but I'm still gonna go McDavid game-winning goal, like
So,
because he
Jaclyn-
said he's the next captain. He's gonna be the next captain.
Remind me, and I don't want to get this wrong. Who are the two guys that got injured and are off? Sorelli and
Point.
Point. Okay, that's what I thought. Sorelli and Point. Yeah,
Yeah.
two big losses, but we're so stacked that I think it's fine. Like that's how stacked we are. I think we're totally fine.
We are so stacked. We have so many other guys who can definitely like this was a crazy good lineup where guys got snubbed because of this lineup. Guys like Bedard, guys like Schaefer on defense. Like this is a stacked lineup. So
Oh my God,
I'm
Schaefer,
excited.
to me, Jack, I know he's 18. He's on the Islanders. superstar defenseman, superstar.
Superstar.
I
Super.
watched him, Jaclyn. Like I watched him play the Leafs where he got the 2 goals. I think the game winner in overtime. He was
Yes.
unbelievable, Jaclyn. Like I watch him. I'm in awe. I would have loved him on Team Canada. I know he's 18. I
I
know
know.
maybe he. The thing I think a lot of people think about John Cooper, and I think it's truthful because even with Drew Doughty, this is the case. I think he values a lockdown defender more than a guy who's going to get a lot of points,
Agreed.
which is
100% agreed.
which might be valid against a team like USA that is very explosive. But Schaefer isn't locked down. You can't be locked
No.
down at 18, right? But I will say he'd be so fun on the team, so fun.
Listen, 4 years. In 4 years, we're gonna
He'll
have
be 22.
22-year-old
He'll only be
Schaefer,
22
right?
years old.
Like, man, he's not even gonna be in his prime yet.
And if
So
you think about
we're
it,
chilling.
you know what, Jaclyn? He has a really good chance of getting the A for Canada at some point, right? Because think about it. For 2034, he's 26 years old. He should probably be an assistant captain by then, maybe. Maybe.
Well,
I'm not
who's
saying for
who's
sure.
gonna be captain? It could be Celebrini as captain.
Well,
Could be Bedard.
and the only reason I say that he's an assistant, Jaclyn, is a lot of these guys, the Crosby, McKinnons, might be off because they're going to be too old. So
Yeah.
I don't think it's a stretch to maybe see a Schaefer in 2034 or 2038, maybe getting a little A on his chest, you know?
Maybe even captain. Maybe even captain at that point.
Possible. If he's as good as we think, possible.
We don't know, man. But all I know is that we have so much amazing sports coming up. Super Bowl tonight.
Yeah.
We both have 28-24 Seahawks.
Seahawks.
You have JSN winning MVP. I have Sam Darnold winning MVP. Excited for whatever we see. Bad Bunny. Listen, I don't really know Bad Bunny's music, but he was at the Grammys and he made an amazing speech. I'm excited to see whatever
Yeah.
performance he has. Bring out some superstars. Let's see it. Eating some wings, eating some snacks, eating some food. Olympics. Gonna be watching Olympics like throughout the day when I'm not watching Super Bowl. NBA trade deadline happened, so there's lots of basketball stuff. Didn't even talk about the Blue Jays. Buck Martinez has retired. That's a whole other episode, man. The greatest, the GOAT.
Yeah.
The GOAT.
I think we need, one of the goats. I think we need to do maybe more, give him more time than we have now. Obviously, happy and sad
Can't
because
do-
he's one of the goats. Yeah, I think we can maybe do another episode where we give him a proper kind of
100%.
honor.
100%, because he doesn't like. I love football and I love all this stuff, but Buck Martinez needs his own like
Yeah, maybe a 10 15
honoring.
minute segment for sure.
Yeah,
Celebrini
exactly.
will be for Team Canada. Celebrini will be there in the lineup for Team Canada. Make no
Yes.
mistake, Canadian fans. Celebrini
He's there.
will be there. He's there.
Go roast Owen in the comments, you guys.
Yeah.
You guys, I give you permission to go go
do
give
it.
some friendly
Yeah.
roast.
Yeah.
But can't wait, Owen. Once again, love having you on the show. Everyone knows, like all of our friends know that you're the honorary co-host whenever you want. Come chat football, hockey, base. Like you'll roll with anything. You will roll with anything. So
Thank you, Jaclyn.
seriously,
Appreciate it.
so excited. See you guys next week. I have a huge episode coming up next week, so stick around for that and subscribe to the channel, give this episode a like, and I will see you next time. Bye bye.
Peace.